FTA Israel. The Colombian agreement with Israel is the first step in the consolidation of our trade relations with the Middle East. Its objective is to seek to increase trade and investment flows, promote bilateral economic cooperation, the removal of non-tariff barriers, and the promotion of diplomatic relations. The negotiation process began in March 2012 and the closing of the negotiation took place in June 2013. Colombia exports mainly non-mining energy goods to Israel. Some of its benefits are reduce and eliminate tariff and non-tariff barriers, access a market with a purchasing power 3 times higher, increase the flow of tourists, and promote the expansion of bilateral investment flows and the creation of new business. FTA Mexico. This treaty was originally made up of Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela, entered into force on January 1st of 1995, but years later, on May 22 of 2006, Venezuela withdrew. Colombia mainly markets cookies, gum, palm oil, and other products to Mexico. The treaty offers certainty to economic sectors, allows promoting trade and goods and services under conditions of fair competitions, and facilitates investment flows. The planned objectives are international cooperation, creating a market for goods and services produced in the territories, establish rules for their commercial exchange, encourage innovations and creativity in creating new jobs opportunities. Guatemala and Honduras. The free trade agreement between the Republic of Colombia and the Republics of El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras entered into force with Guatemala on November 12 of 2009, with El Salvador on February 2 of 2010, and with Honduras on March 27 of 2010. This treaty allows the four countries to improve their conditions of access to their respective markets, take advantage of the complementarities of their economies, as well as promote mutual investment. Its objective is to establish efficient customs procedures that allow the agile dispatch of goods without detriment to customs control. FTA CAN. The CAN is a pioneering mechanism for continental integration and one of the most ambitious integration systems in the world, where the free movement of goods, services, and citizens has been agreed. The Andean regime allows member countries to exchange 100% of goods without duty. However, the Andean process is not limited to the elimination of taxes on trade, but has developed common and dynamic regimes in customs matters, trade facilitation, as well as cooperation initiatives that have been contributed to the construction of commercial capacities in the countries. Its objective is to promote the balanced development of the member countries under conditions of equality, through economic integrations and social cooperation, facilitate their participations in the regional integration process with a view to the gradual formation of a Latin America. FTA CARICOM. CARICOM is an organization created on July 4 of 1973 by 15 Caribbean countries, but Colombia signed this trade agreement with 12 of them, and it entered into force on January 1st of 1995. Colombia sells to the CARICOM countries products such as crude oils, ceramic tiles, leather bags, among others. Under this agreement, Colombia receives 100% tariff preferences on 1,074 products from Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados, and Guyana. For its part, Colombia grants the 12 countries of the CARICOM tariff preferences of 100% to 1,128 products in the Andina nomenclature. The objectives of this agreement are the promotion and expansion of the exchange of products originated in Colombia and CARICOM, facilitating the creation and operation of regional joint ventures, among others.
Chile. This trade agreement entered into force on May 8, 2009, have like objective stimulate the expansion and diversification of trade, remove obstacles and facilitate the cross-border movement of goods and services, increase investment opportunities, mutually support trade and environmental policies, promote the development of labor policies, and practice to improve the working and living condition of both parts. This agreement benefits the expansion of business opportunities in the field international. The income from Chilean exports and investment in our country help the economy for the development and competitiveness of Colombia generating better living standards for Colombians. The Colombian products that are exported are sugar, coffee, crude oil, plastics, pharmaceutical and inorganic products, automobiles, and electric machinery. Products imported from Chile under the agreement are wood, paper, and copier products, automobiles, industrial and electric machinery, wines, vegetables, cereal, and fruits such as apples, pears, and grapes. EFTA. On July 1, 2011, the agreement between Colombia and two of the EFTA countries entered into force. Switzerland ratified the treaty on October 29 and Liechtenstein on November 26, 2009. The agreement between Norway and Iceland entered into force on September 1, 2014 and October 1, 2014. Its objective is the expansion of markets, the expansion and diversification of investments, the strengthening and expansion of integration with European countries. The EFTA is made up of Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. Through this agreement, great benefits are obtained. 100% of Colombia industrial goods exports were immediately duty-free. Colombia deducted 85.7% of the industrial imports from these countries, the vast majority capital goods, machinery, and supplies. Canada. The agreement entered into force on August 15, 2011. This agreement had like objective create a space free of restriction in search of growth and continued economic development of the signatory countries. The Free Trade Agreement comprises three independent agreements which are interrelated: the Free Trade Agreement, the Agreement on Labor Cooperation, and the Agreement on the Environment. This treaty offers great benefits since 97% of Colombian exports have the opportunity to enter the Canadian market with protection measures for the most sensitive sectors of our country. Money flows have been invested in sectors such as telecommunication, mining, and financial services in general. Security and confidence regarding monetary transactions were implemented in the treaty, promoting increased investment from Canada to Colombia and expanding also to other sectors. United States. Since of May 15, 2012, the Free Trade Agreement signed by Colombia and the United States came into force with the objective of promoting trade between the two countries. These products include medicine, lettuce, mushroom, tires, sweet corn, rolled products, toothpaste, among others, which are products with constant growth in their exports. The treaty affects all sectors of the economy and national productive life, including ICT. The main benefit of the Free Trade Agreement for Colombia is the consolidation of tariff preference. This covered about 5,670 products. The entry into force of the Free Trade Agreement meant access to the U.S. market with a 0% tariff, approximately 10,634 tariff position. Of this position, 286 new products have entered export to the market from 2012 to 2017.
Mercosur. The trade agreement with Mercosur represents an opportunity for Colombia to access a potential market close to 250 million consumers with a GDP of more than 2,400 billion and close to 97 of the tariff-free universe. Its subscription date was July 21, 2017, which includes what was agreed in ACE 59 in force since 2005. It is made up of the governments of the Argentine Republic, of the Federative Republic of Brazil, of the Republic of Paraguay, and of the Instant Republic of Uruguay, member states of Mercosur, and the government of the Republic of Colombia. Venezuela is a natural commercial partner of Colombia, since they share a living border of 2,219 kilometers. Since 1992, having already a free trade space between both countries. The commercial relations between Colombia and Venezuela were strong. The presence of Colombian companies in Venezuela increased. The partial scope agreement of a commercial nature was signed on November 28, 2011 by the Presidents of Colombia and Venezuela. Its objective is to reactive and stimulate bilateral trade, recover a market that was essential for Colombian exporters. Our exports fell 71%. Benefits. As long as there is a legal framework for a bilateral trade, the development of the complementaries of our economies will be stimulated. The agreement between Colombia and Cuba has been since 2000 under the framework of ALADI, Economic Complementation Agreement number 49, which entered into force on July 10, 2001, and has two modifying protocols. As an objective of the agreement, Colombia can enter the Cuban market with 100% tariff preference. Live animals, beef, dairy, flowers, potatoes, vegetables, bananas, coffee, rice, palm oil, margarine, sweets, confetti, chocolate, jams, mineral, and water. The trade agreement with the European Union defines clear and predictable rules of the game regarding trade in goods, services, and investment flows. It was signed in the city of Brussels, Belgium on June 26, 2012. Its objective is to have a preferential and permanent commercial relationship that allows Colombia entrepreneurs to sell their goods and services without barriers in a market of 500 million inhabitants. The advantages are many, having new and greater market opportunities, being able to establish new links in the production and supply chains, have the possibility of establishing productive and commercial alliances, have more customers and more customers, to be able to offer better conditions to attract investors, and of course provide the Colombian consumer with greater options for their purchase at better prices. Pacific Alliance. The Pacific Alliance is a regional integration mechanism made up of Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru, established in April 2011 and formally and legally constituted on June 6, 2012, with the theme of the Framework Agreement. This process seeks to create attractive markets among its member countries in order to achieve greater international competitiveness. Its objective is to build a participatory and consequential manner and area of deep integration to progressively advance towards the free movement of goods, service, capital, and people.
The trade agreement with Costa Rica is for to achieve preferential access in different markets for Colombian products and services, as well as the objective of strengthening commercial ties with the Central American countries and attracting products investment from them. The signing of the agreement was carried out on May 22nd and must be submitted to the approval to the respective Congresses. This agreement gives preferential access, especially to Colombian manufacturers that today compete at a disadvantage against third countries in one of the most attractive markets in the region. Reduce and eliminate tariffs and non-tariff barriers on Colombian exports to one of the main markets in Central America. Access a market with a purchasing power greater than 20% and that of Colombians with an import orientation in terms of industrial goods. Depend the strong commercial presence of Colombian firms in Costa Rica, especially in the area of industrial goods, increase investment flows between the two countries. On February 21, 2013, the Free Trade Agreement between Colombia and South Korea for Colombia is an important step to generate a direct operational with the Asian continent that is home to 60% of the world's population. It also has one of the most developed economies and powerful increase in purchasing power. The economies of Colombia and South Korea are considered complementary because each one has a different productive focus. The Korean one focuses on technological items such as appliances, cars, and cell phones, while the Colombian produces mainly raw materials such as agricultural goods and minerals, which makes it possible for supply needs to be mutually satisfied. Companies in all sectors will benefit from the gradual elimination of tariffs on raw materials, inputs, and intermediate goods. It is suspected that the agreement will increase productive investment, along with the transfer of knowledge to us.
Panama and Colombia plan to sign the agreement this year, on September 20th. Also, it has the possibility of being a full member of the Pacific Alliance. With this negotiation, Colombia sets to strengthen its commercial ties with one of its natural partners because it's a bordering country and because of the complementary economies. Panama will obtain access to the Colombian marketing products of its interest in such as rum, fish meal, and chicken nuggets from the agricultural sector in different periods of tax relief. Reduce and eliminate tariffs and no-tariff barriers on Colombian exports to one of the main markets in Central America. Access a market with a purchasing power that is close to 50% higher than the Colombian market and with an import orientation regarding industrial goods. Deepen and give legal certainty to the strong commercial presence of Colombian firms in Panama, especially in the matter of industrial goods. The agreement will allow large part of the country's current exportable supply to enter the market in a short time, free of tariffs. On May 13 of 2019, Colombia signed with the United Kingdom the instrument that will preserve the commercial relationship framework that it currently has in the agreement with the European Union. The objective is to guarantee that the conditions of integration and preferential access that today are had with this important market are maintained in the face of the process of its departure from the Europa bloc. One of the sectors that benefits the most from the commercial relations currently managed by both economies is agriculture. The main export products were bananas, coffee, flowers, and fruits or other fruits and other edible parts of plants. The main imports include machinery and electrical and mechanical equipment, cars, medicines, and beverages, including whiskey and gin. For Colombia, it is important to continue maintaining and expanding the relations that exist today with the United Kingdom for trade in goods and services, investment, public purchases, and intellectual property mainly. Reduce and eliminate tariffs and non-tariff barriers on Colombian exports to make our industrial and agricultural products more competitive. The replacement of national companies by international companies. When competing with developed countries, it is difficult for Colombia to achieve such low costs due to insufficient state-of-the-art machinery and cheap labor. Protectionism can interrupt the entry of products to other states. It must avoid the deficit in the trade balance to generate economic growth in the country. New companies with little experience are defeated by large companies.